Our other top story at this hour, a Melvindale police sergeant pleading no contest to a charge of willful neglect of duty.
Sergeant Matthew Furman made the plea during an arraignment this afternoon. It involves an incident that happened back in February during a call about a man who was acting drunk and disorderly. Mara McDonald is live in Melvindale tonight with more. Mara?
Kimberly, here's the situation. When we went into court this afternoon, the expectation was this was going to be a simple arraignment for Sergeant Furman. Turns out his attorneys in the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office have reached a plea deal, which takes the charge of assault and battery off the table. Take a look.
Sir, will you please raise your right hand to be sworn?
Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you're about to give concerning this case will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. I do.
And with that, a plea agreement between Melvindale Sergeant Matthew Furman and the prosecutor's office was reached. In it, Furman agrees to plead no contest to a misdemeanor count of willful neglect of duty. This all stems from a February night when police were called to break up a drunk, volatile situation.
He and two other officers responded to a location on a disturbance call.
Furman got into trouble for ordering an extremely drunk man to walk down a flight of stairs. That man fell, and then compounded the issue by swearing at him and throwing a bowl. Back here live, originally was facing multiple charges, including that assault and battery. That has all been taken off the table now that this plea agreement has been reached. What else he has to do? Be on probation for a year and attend an anger management class. We're live in Melvindale tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Turn around, hands on the roof. Stop, or you will get tasered. It's on video, retard.
You gonna lose your bag.
I ain't gonna lose. You're gonna lose your freedom because you get to go to jail today, mother.
Do you have the temperament to be a police officer?
When I tell you to do something, you do it. End of story. Step out of the car. Turn around, hands on the hood. Hands on the roof. Sit down and shut the up.
Why do you think that throughout your career you have continued to be accused of excessive force?
You will not get up without our permission.
Man,
Sit the down.
In his 12 years on the job, this Melvindale, Michigan police officer has been suspended, criminally charged, fired, and then brought back.
The defendant used coarse language, threw a food bowl across a kitchen.
Do you think he understands de-escalation?
No, I don't.
So why is he still there?
All right. Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. Here you see yet another rogue Nazi terrorist and all types of other descriptions, white officer from Melvindale, Michigan, and that is Matthew Furman. Now, that first video you saw was from last year where he probably assaulted and kicked the guy down the stairs, but of course, you know, he took the plea and they made it seem like the guy just fell, and he's continued to do his duties. Now, I'm going to show you the rest of that video that you just saw about him and the black couple. That is what he is currently under investigation for right now. But as the civil rights lawyer said, and shout outs to the civil rights lawyer, I'm using his material in fair use for commentary and educational purposes. I also put the complete link in the description so you can watch his video that pretty much surmises the whole history of this officer. During his time, he has been, you know, suspended, fired, brought back, convicted. He's a convicted criminal, yet he's decided, or he's allowed, to continue to practice policery. And I know that's not a word, but I just made it up. But he's continued to be allowed to be a policeman. And you heard the mayor talking about, I don't know, you know why, and laughing about it after these continuous instances. In this last instance, I'm going to show you is the most egregious. One of the former chiefs tried to get rid of him, but he said that he could not get rid of him because they make so much money off him towing cars. I mean, you can't make this up. So they're going to put the jeopardy of the people in jeopardy because they're making money, which, you know, that's what it's all about anyway. That's what policing was originally all about, keeping the black property in the hands of the slave owners so they can keep their money. They would be paid for going to get the slave. But that's, you know, that's a whole nother video. But Nevertheless, let's watch the rest of this interaction that he has had with the black couple, and you're going to see this officer's actives. And you guys let me know in the comments, especially, the police supporters, is this action justified? Just watch.
When you have other officers saying that they don't want to respond to calls with him, that can potentially cause a problem.
And Officer Furman's temper is the reason why he's now back in the spotlight. On July 20th, Furman stopped the vehicle driven by Dracar Williams for driving around traffic barricades. Also in the vehicle was Williams's girlfriend and 2 small children, ages 2 and 5. Williams' driver's license was suspended. The vehicle he was driving had no valid insurance. And when Furman asked him for his name, he provided a fake one.
You have a driver's license?
I don't. My mother actually just got in an accident.
Do you have a license?
It's at the house.
And it's true that Williams was told more than once to get out of the vehicle.
Go and step out of the car for me.
And why am I stepping out?
Because you're refusing to provide information.
I
asked your middle name. That is relevant. You're refusing to provide it. Step out of the vehicle now.
Yes.
Next thing is you get tasered. Get out of the car.
This is all standard stuff. Obviously, he needs a license, he needs insurance, and the officer's allowed to order him out of the car. The issue is what happened after he got out of the car. As this is going on, a second officer arrives at the scene. Furman ordered Williams to turn around, put his hands on the roof.
Turn around, hands on the roof.
Can you tell him to come? Can you tell? I'm not
I
doing
said hands on the roof. Stop or you will get tasered. When I tell you to do something, you do it. End of story.
And at that point, Furman's partner can be seen holding Williams's right hand and shoulder. Within seconds of ordering Williams to place his hands behind his back, Furman then suddenly uses his taser in drive stun mode and starts tasing Williams repeatedly.
Relax. I'm not.
Hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Hands behind your back.
Furman later claimed that he continued to tase Williams because he believed that Williams tried to grab the taser.
Cooperate.
What am I doing?
Cooperate.
I'm not doing nothing. You take up. Stop.
Stop.
I'm not doing nothing.
Stop.
I'm not. What am I doing? You take.
Stop moving.
After Williams was in custody, Furman turned his attention then to his girlfriend, who he said posed a threat while she was seated in the vehicle and that she needed to be detained.
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car. Step out of the car. Turn around. Hands on the hood. Hands on the roof. Step over here. Step over here. You're being detained right now.
I'm being detained. I'm trying to make somebody.
Sit down and shut the up.
But most likely he had just once again lost his temper, and the fact that she was recording him just sent him over the edge. Seconds later, he can be heard arguing with Williams once again while Williams is handcuffed on the ground, and at one point calling him a retard.
And then you wouldn't get out of the car. And then you wouldn't put your hands on your back.
Get out the car.
Video, retard.
You a retard?
Yeah.
Furman then heads to his vehicle. He determines Williams' real name. Then after reviewing his criminal history, Furman approaches Williams while he's handcuffed and sitting against a fire truck.
You got a revoked license, so you should have been behind the wheel. You got a ton of warrants. And now you got obstructing and resisting and everything else.
You gonna lose your bag.
I ain't gonna lose. You're gonna lose your freedom because you get to go to jail today, mother.
After Williams stands up, another officer sits him back down. Then, with Williams still in handcuffs, Furman grabs him by the back of the hair and pulled his head into the fire truck.
You will not get up without our permission.
Man, I got.
Sit the down.
I am sitting down. You pulling my hair.
Furman explained that Williams posed a risk when he stood up, making the force used appropriate. Though the video shows that while he stood up, he was set back down by the other officer. Rather, it just appears that once again he's unable to control his temper.
I got sit the down.
Throwing my head against a fire truck while I'm in handcuffs, I can't do nothing. I'm helpless.
My priority is doing whatever I have to do to go home. And if that means somebody gets tasered, then somebody's getting tasered. But I'm going home to my family and my friends. That's my number one goal.
And that, coincidentally, is also the number one reason why he does not have the temperament to be a police officer, because he has his priorities mixed up. In my opinion, the number one reason that you have all these videos, all these incidents around the country is because you have this attitude in certain police officers that they don't care if they arrest an innocent person. They don't care if they harm an innocent person or shoot the wrong person or raid the wrong house or all of these things that they have done. This is a job to them, and their number one priority is their own safety. It's not their oath to any constitution, to any government, to the community. It's their own self-interest. And guys like this, when you challenge their authority, in their minds, you're challenging their own self-interest. You're challenging their family. Guys like this are not serving the public. They're not public servants. This is a job to them. You just comply or else. One thing I've seen over the years is that, yes, people can lie. There can be three sides to every story. But when you have years and years and years of multiple allegations, where there's smoke, there tends to be fire. So why is this guy still here? How difficult is it to get rid of a police officer in Melvindale, Michigan? I mean, this guy got prosecuted, he got fired, yet some arbitrator says he gets to come back. His former police chief couldn't fire him. The mayor admits that he's not a good cop, but she can't even get rid of him. What's missing here? Why is he still here? Because a total lack of accountability. And that's what needs to change.
All right. So there you see that interaction with Officer Matthew Furman. Not to be confused with Officer Mark Furman, you know, the guy who planted the evidence and used racial slurs, the police officer, the honorable person who took an oath to protect and serve, planting evidence to try to frame a man. Nah, not that Furman. This Matthew Furman, who pulls a black man out of his car. Now, granted, the guy didn't have license, didn't have insurance, didn't provide a real name. I get it. So he gets him out of the car, and then the guy was like, turn around. And then so this officer's yelling. He turns to the other officer like, yo, next thing you do, you're going to get tased. That's what the officer replied. So he turns around, and then he slams him on the car. One officer has him by the arm. And I think that they do this on purpose, because one officer is telling him to put his hands behind his back, but one officer has one arm restrained. So you can't do that. So now you're non-compliant. So they're creating a situation where he can't even put his arm behind his back. So then the guy starts tasing him. And the dude literally standing like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? You do what they tell you, or, you know, you do what I say, and that's it. When I tell you to do something, that I'm white and I say so, you know. And then, you know, he tases him, gets him on the ground, curses him out. Then he goes forcefully and pulls his girlfriend out of the car. His girlfriend's not doing nothing. If you watch the video closely, she's recording. He takes the phone, slams her down. She puts her hand immediately behind her back because, okay, put your hands on the roof. Now, so he's confused. You know what I'm saying? He manhandles her, tells her to get in the car. And y'all saw it. I don't have to rehash it. And then the last part, he slapping a man's head on the one of the most egregious part of that video when he says, "Oh, I don't care. You know, I'm just trying to go home to my family." That means somebody's getting taken, somebody's getting taken. So they're using the quote unquote fear and risk of policing to justify his actions. Nothing in that video posed a threat to that man or his family. But I will assert, yeah, this guy needs to be stopped. Somebody need to pop him. And what I take that however you want. Somebody might need to pop him in the leg. How about that? You know, back in the days, you know, cats just pop you in the leg and let you know they ain't playing with you. But no one can justify that behavior. Like the mayor can't get rid of him. You saw in that video, you will see another video of him kicking and stomping a person. Like this guy is a straight animal out there in them streets. And so, like he said, that mindset, okay, well, I have to do whatever I got to do to get home. Doesn't mean you harm innocent people. That doesn't mean you jump to conclusions in every situation. Like he said, the lady in the car posed the threat. Like in that manner, the kids pose a threat too. Anybody poses, the guy walking down the street poses a threat. Anybody can pose a threat. It's how you see that situation. You know what I mean? So that is Matthew Furman. Evidently, you saw the guy who, you know, evidently has lawyered up, and I hope the guy loses his bail, but evidently Melvindale police is not in the habit of making things right. So definitely keeping up with this case. But if you want to see that entire video, once again, you can check the link in the description, and I provided that for you. But, you know, once again, it's fair use. I just want What do y'all think about this officer? All the police enthusiasts, you know, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Y'all see my number 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.